Welcome to your darkest dreamscapes. This is Kaz. I'll be your host as we wind down the darker trails of existence, verging on the border of that which we can perceive clearly and that which we cannot. Good evening, dreamers. I know it's been a while. My life was very hectic again. My 7-year-old had a heart surgery, and then we came home to find that I am being sued, and also we were late on our mortgage payment because I didn't get paid for the 2 weeks that I took off for my son's surgery. So we went $600 in the negative, and things have just been very hectic. Anyway. This channel is all about dreams and stuff, but more than that, it's about the paranormal. And lately, I've been getting woken up around 3 in the morning. If it's not a sleep paralysis episode where I'm having auditory and some not physical hallucinations where I'm seeing things, but I'll feel vibrations. Like it sounds like I'll hear a window breaking, and then I'll feel like the vibrations in the walls and things like that. We're having just lots of issues sleeping. So today, after an episode the other night, what happened was I was sleeping, obviously, and I usually wake up around 6. My alarm goes off at 6:45. I usually wake up at 6:37, pretty much on the dot. And so anyway, I'm half asleep. I'm very tired. I'm half asleep, and the light comes on from my computer monitor, which now my computer is located across my room. So in my mostly asleep state, I'm thinking, oh, the sun's up already. And as I normally do, I went to look out the window, and it was still dark outside, and I was like, I realized then that the computer screen was on, which I was like, okay, well, maybe a cat bumped into the desk and, moved my mouse. I was like, alright, so hello, Koshek. Speaking of cats, my cat Koshek just came in to say hello. So, and I'm thinking it's the cats, right? And I'm like, cool, whatever, I'll just go back to sleep because it'll turn off in 5 minutes. Not a big deal. I didn't even check the time at that point. So I closed my eyes, and as soon as I'm comfortable, of course it's always as soon as I'm comfortable, I hear very heavy footsteps in my living room coming towards the hallway. And it's not like they're walking with purpose. It sounds like someone is really trying not to make noise and they can't decide which room they're going to go in. They're sounds like they're peeking around, and I sit up in bed and I'm just listening to this, and I listen to it for 2 minutes, and I'm waiting for someone to walk down my hallway, right? And then finally, I snap out of it because I'm between my living room and my daughter's room. My room is between the living room and my daughter's room. They're don't even put my glasses on. I just jump out of bed and run into my hallway, and of course as soon as I'm in my hallway, it stops. So I'm thinking maybe they heard me and they're around the corner in the living room, so I go out to the living room and I'm like, who's there? And there was nobody. So I checked the entire house, and my cats aren't even freaking out. I don't even remember where they were, but they weren't being spazzes like they normally are. My daughter was fast asleep. It was fucking terrifying, so I sat for about 20 minutes. Anyway, the next day I was really angry. I've been really angry since that night. I felt very violated. I haven't had an experience like that intense for a very long time. So today at work, I decided that I was going to smudge my house when I got home. And I used a sage stick with cedar. And I got some really interesting audio clips. The first one, you will hear me say hello to my daughter, and then there will be a hiss right before she replies back. And I can't tell if it's an intake of breath or an outtake. Either way, it's weird. The second one here, I'm not going to tell you what I think it says. I want you to listen to it. I'm going to play it forwards twice and then backwards twice. And then I'm going to tell you what I think it says. I don't think it says anything backwards, but I'll play it for you backwards regardless. So here goes. Alright, and here's backwards. I think that it says, I ruined you, or it ruined you, or it's ruined you, or something. Comment below and let me know what you guys think of that one. The next one is a growl. That's pretty self-explanatory. Here's that one. For our next trick, I tell anything really. I was just speaking generally to the energies in the household, but I tell it that the space is closed off and there's going to be a pause, and then essentially the fucking thing sounds like it golf claps at me, which, if you listen, it's right at the end. It's kind of quiet. I don't want to come into this space through this window and close this entrance off to you. The next clip, there I say something, there's like one sentence and then a pause, and then there's a whistle, and then I say a second sentence. And it's just, we had a bird die a couple months ago, so it's either, I feel like it's either the bird is still in the house, or it's like, hey, give me attention, like, but you go ahead and listen. For the record, the hairs on my legs and arms are standing up right now. And it smells like something someone didn't wash for weeks. So the next one we get kind of a little bit back into the weird part of things. So I think I was just walking around and I moved something and you can hear the rustling in the background and then you hear something after. I don't even honestly know what it is. It was completely out of context, and so you'll just have to listen. For the next part, this is probably my favorite, and I use air quotes when I say that, out of the bunch. You hear there's a lot of static. I magnified it about 200% because, well, just because really. I'm going to play it twice and then tell you what it says, or what I think I hear it says. And here we go. Okay, so when I played that, when I first heard it, I heard the whisper, and I was like, okay, what the hell is that? Like, that's obviously not my daughter's voice. I listened to it closer, I magnified it, and it sounds to me like there is a child saying, he's waiting, or he's waited. And either way, fuck a whole lot of that. In the next part, you're going to hear my daughter walk away, and then I say something, and then I magnified the sound. You hear a giggle, and then I say, and this doorway, and then you hear my daughter come back. So here goes. Those buttons. In this story. Those buttons. In this story. And for this last one, you're going to hear my daughter laughing about something, and then you hear a voice whisper, and then my daughter, and the whisper's really short, so you're going to have to listen pretty hard for it, but here goes. Go. 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 Okay, so that is that. That is what's going on in my life right now. I have smudged my house. It does honestly feel better in here, but we will see if that sticks. So until next time, dreamers, I am out. Hey, thanks for joining me tonight. Don't forget to like or subscribe if you enjoyed this story. And don't forget, there's always something in the basement.